This is Christian Cisneros from the Noob News, and we're here with Keith Quinn at Staples this year. How's the Comic-Con treating you so far, and what are you looking forward to?
Doing pretty good so far. I've made a few sales, made a lot of friends, handing out comics and buttons and things.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your comic and kind of how it evolved.
Okay, Local Heroes is about Squire, who is a powerless sidekick who struggles to keep up with his superpowered mentors, and he's not doing too great a job. So it's an all-ages strip. Right now I work in the game industry on online games, but I needed a different sort of like expression. So in my free time, I have my labor of love, which is Local Heroes.
How did it come about? Where did you get the idea, and why? How did it get into like all ages kind of?
So back in the 90s when the comic boom was happening, I actually had a job working for a smaller company doing some like biography comics, and also did a couple of things on the side for myself, comics trading cards. And then the collapse happened and I got out of it for a while and did some other jobs. But when I moved here to Austin for the game industry, I decided I wanted to get into comics again, but I couldn't, because of the overtime and stuff that would happen, I couldn't really do the bigger comics, the longer story form, so I decided to do a webcomic. And I planned it out that each webcomic would be like a small little bit, and together they would start forming a story over time, and then eventually I could pile them into a book. And I decided to make it all ages instead of like teen or worse, because it was online, and I wanted something that like anyone could enjoy, and they wouldn't have to worry about passing on the website address or anything like that. And I just wanted something that was sort of like lighthearted and fun.
How did it get to publishing out, doing the books? Are you just doing books now, or are you still taking the web comics route?
The webcomic's a little on and off. So usually when I'm doing a storyline, I put a new strip out every Monday. But then between storylines, there's probably like a few weeks to a few months gap. Sometimes I'm building up a buffer, working on whatever the next chapter is.
How can people find your comic? Can they get it locally or on a website or whatever?
Sure, locally you can find a few issues at Dragon's Lair Comics. Online you can go to localheroes.us. And you can read the comic there, and also there's a link to the store where you can buy any one of the new comics. I also have buttons, and this brand new comic came out this week.
How can people get in touch with you? Are you easily accessible and can give you feedback or anything like that for you?
Yeah, same thing. You can go to localheroes.us, and there's a contact link there, and you could fill out a form, contact me, and if we have to have back and forth, I'll email back and forth. And,
Do you see any other titles in your future? Are you developing anything new, trying to get more things out there?
I got a couple of things. I have my original story from the 90s, Heroes Incorporated, more straight-up superhero stuff. I have another webcomic that's more off than on called Playtime Projects, which is about a bunch of foul-mouthed puppets in a dysfunctional children's show. And there's other things I have in mind. I'm working on some old stories that have been percolating for a long time, and I actually want to start putting them out now that I've found some good patterns for myself to work out my free time with my work time.
What gave you the inspiration to actually go into the comic industry or to do that? I mean, you're working in the game industry now. How did that?
Well, I've always been an artist. Work-wise, it's been like desktop publishing and web design, but I've always done comic-style art. Here and there, I've done like trading cards and comics, like I said. So it's something that I never really wanted to give up, even though it didn't become my profession. So I have the paying gig, which is the day job, but then also the part-time comic job that is my labor of love.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your interview, and this is Christian Cisneros from the Noob News at Staple.